Joining us this week on Socratic Spotlight is Maya Schutzer. She's a junior EMS, current 12th grader at TSE, interested in reading, very analytically minded, sounds like. And so, Maya, thanks so much for your time today. I just want to start out by asking you to tell us about, broadly speaking, your time at TSE. How did you come to TSE, and how has it differed from previous school experiences that you've had?
All right. Yeah. My time at TSC has been great. I'm one of the first students. I was here at the very first year of this school. Um, so it's been really good. Obviously, I've stayed. I think I found it. I think one of my parents heard it on a podcast episode or something similar. And it's been great. It's been really the first program that I think I've really excelled in. Um, I've done a lot of other kinds of schooling, pretty much probably most things that I can name when it comes to education. And yeah, TSC, the student led approach has really helped me kind of take charge of things and helped me follow what I want to do in life. So yeah, compared to other schools that I've done and other programs, even programs that have like a similar intention, like Montessori, this has been really special.
What does TSE mean to you personally?
Well, TSE gives me a lot of academic freedom, uh, and has also given me a lot of opportunities and shown me a lot of new things. So I don't know if I could describe it in a word, but it's really meant a lot to discover so many new things. Like I've found a bunch of authors that I really like through TSE, and the best part is that I'm able to talk about them in class with my peers. So yeah, I guess it's really meant a lot of academic freedom and enabled me to kind of take control of that, of something that I loved but didn't really know what to do with.
We talk a lot about TSC in terms of cultivating a purposeful environment. And so I'm wondering if that has been if the purposeful environment at TSC has meant something significant for you.
Yeah. I think a big thing that has helped me with that purposeful environment was kind of pathing paving the path of my own future. Um because I really didn't know what I wanted to do before, even just a few years ago. I guess, I was like everyone, had a bunch of ideas, things I liked, but I didn't really know what my purpose could be. Um, but just I think with TSC, they've shown me so many paths and helped me, really like guided me into them. Where like I'm still doing the work, but I've kind of got a way in. Um, so yeah, it's just kind of introduced me to what my purpose could actually be and what I can do with the rest of my life, which is very important right now as a senior.
What would you say some of the purposes in your life that you've kind of discovered through TSC? How has that discovery process gone, and what conclusions have you arrived to?
Well, I really do like education. I like alternative education. I think it's so valuable to literally everybody. And I've always known that I loved alternative education and that I didn't like the public school system. But I think TSC really showed me why, and how I can actually help in that field and break into it. So I would say that's the main thing, and then just I'm able to do things that I really care about to do my schoolwork and to learn and to get my credits for college and everything like that.
How is the peer culture at TSC?
It's really great. I think it's people always talk about how they're worried homeschoolers or people who don't go to public school aren't gonna have that social aspect. And I think even though it's not in person, TSE helps eliminate that. Um, I think my best friends I've met here, and we're able to still like talk outside of classes. and do whatever we want and just hang out, even if it's online. And in classes, everyone is really really nice. I think it's a very, obviously discussion based approach, and so everyone is very respectful, um and very very chill with each other. So that makes it so much easier to learn and to help each other learn. I think I really have met like some of the best people here that I've gotten close to. So
You mentioned, the kind of a skepticism that some families have about online school. And I think the origins of that are probably during the pandemic. Most people had negative experiences, at least that I've spoken with, when their public schools went online. So what would you say to families who are, they're interested in the Socratic experience as an option, but the online component is kind of holding them back from further consideration of the program?
you really, I don't feel like a social element is missing at all. Like it's so much more inclusive of what the students actually think than public schools, that at the end of the day you're probably getting much more social interaction with your peers here than at some public school. So yeah, I mean, just I would say to just try it, because you don't know, it might be better, it probably will be better.
Yeah, I usually point out to parents who express this concern that most of our time is spent in discussion with one another anyway, which is just totally different from traditional school, where most of the time the teacher is talking at students and they're expected to kind of just basically memorize that. Were you homeschooled right before TSE?
I had a pretty long school journey, so I did a bunch of different types of things. I tried different kinds of Montessori schools. I tried different kinds of private schools. What happened was, during the pandemic, right before the pandemic, I was like, okay, we're gonna try the public school thing. So I went to public school, registered, all that fun stuff. I went for 2 weeks, and then everything shut down because of COVID. So I did the online public school that you just spoke about, and yeah, it's terrible. It's no one's paying attention. No one cares. Yeah, it's not it's not great. So after that, I tried another online curriculum. It didn't work out because I felt like the teachers were really not paying attention to the students at all. Like you'd submit work, you wouldn't get any feedback on it. It was not at all a an environment where it seemed like they actually cared about you. Um, so then I tried TSE, and right off the bat, it was really great. I was even just in the first year where they're still figuring things out, but it was the perfect approach for me. So yeah,
Just out of curiosity, how many students were here when you first started?
I think five. I think five.
Okay, so you were here at the very beginning. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about the mentorship component. How has mentorship at the Socratic experience kind of helped you hone your skills, your interests, focus you? It's really, really a key feature of the program, especially for high schoolers, in terms of getting you guys to think about what you want to do after high school. So, how has that been beneficial for you?
The mentorship has been really crucial for me. I think I didn't take advantage of it as much as I could have in the first years, but then these last 2 years, it's kind of like, okay, you got to figure out what you're going to do now. So yeah, it's super helpful to just have someone that you can talk to, like about pretty much anything. If you're struggling in your classes, they'll help you out. If you want to go into something and you're not sure how to start, really, like they're there to help you with everything you could need help with. Um, and it's just super helpful to hear from somebody and to have that advice. And I know I've gotten a bunch of opportunities. I'm working with my mentor Leah, and I'm her co-guide, her apprentice. And I've been able to do that through mentorship, and because we had these mentorship meetings, and it's been really, really great. It's been like one of the most valuable things I've done. So,
How did you approach Leah about becoming her co-guide, and which class are you leading?
I can't, I don't know exactly how it happened. It was a very, very slow, slow process, I think. I remember the first time was last year, and I substituted for her while she was gone, one of her classes. Um, and that's kind of when I decided, oh, I really want to do this a lot more. Um, but so I help her with ancient humanities. So it's been really fun. I'm already familiar with some of the stuff, and then I can go read ahead the stuff that I don't know. It's super interesting. Yeah.
Did you have an inclination before that that you wanted to go into education?
I wouldn't say I like knew that I wanted to go into education, but it's still always something that I liked and that I felt connected to. So I just couldn't really piece it together yet.
Did she talk to you about like other apprenticeship opportunities? Because I know we try to talk to students in the mentorship program, or was it kind of just, yeah, you would be great to start co-leading a class?
I think we've discussed like other options and other things I can do, but it felt like let's try it and see where it goes.
Cool. Are you getting high school credits for doing the apprenticeship?
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. I was looking through quick schools. I noticed that you're doing a lot of independent studies courses, which is something really valuable that we offer in the accredited version of the program. If you have an interest that we don't necessarily have a class set up for, then students can do independent studies courses. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I think I'm doing I think I'm doing 4. So some of it is I'm graduating early, and I need a certain amount of high school credits in order to do that. So I'm able to just work on my own outside of class on any extra things to get like all the credits, all the extra credits that I want to be able to graduate exactly when I want. Um, but then I also like I'm bilingual. I speak French fluently, and if and I live in America, so I can I can be a bit out of practice. So whenever I practice, I can get credits for that. So um, that's been really nice, and not only inspiring me to actually work on my French, um, but actually getting my work recognized for something that I can use in that way. And yeah, I'm doing EMS as well for my science credit, and that's been super great since I really wanted to do double humanities. I thought that that would be what's most valuable to me right now, as as a humanities apprentice. um but I need my STEM credits, so it's been super nice that I can spend like some extra time learning about all that and getting my credit for it as well. It's just been really enjoyable.
What have you done for personal projects, or is EMS your personal project?
This year, I say it's more like apprenticeship is my personal project. Um, I spend a lot of time on it outside of class, and that's I guess the main thing that I'm working on. But for personal projects in the past, I think my first year at TSE, I was writing music. Um, and I was writing songs, and it was really great. I did like every time I'd write a new bit and I'd send it into my mentor, and he'd be like, "This is awesome. I really like this part," and it was really encouraging. And I think before no after that, I was working on video essays for just anything that I was interested in, usually animation.
How does the intellectual rigor of the program compare to previous schools? What do you think of the discussion format in terms of really developing your analytical skills?
It's great. It's Yeah, it's unlike anything I've been able to do in a school environment. Um, and it's for me, it's super, super entertaining and super, super interesting. And I'm learning a lot because this is really something I'm interested in. And I never thought that I could really like learn about this stuff in the school environment, but I guess here this is. Um, so yeah, I've always felt in this school challenged, but not too much. And I feel like if I am challenged too much, then I can talk to my guide with that if I needed to. Um, but yeah, since it's so based on what the student needs and all that, um, it's really great. Like you can go at your own pace. I know that it's something that I always want when want to keep in mind for when I'm teaching or if I'm in the apprenticeship right now. I really want to be accommodating to everyone and everyone's different needs. So I think that TSE really gives you the room to do that, which is so valuable. So yeah, I've always thought that it was really all the readings we do super interesting. Um, I've always been able to keep up, but always felt really engaged.
What are some of your favorite readings that you've done here?
Well, right now, I don't want it to only be like, oh, I'm talking about what we're doing right now, but right now we're reading The Plague, and that's really fun. I've been loving it. I had a real copy already, so that was nice. I really like Montaigne. We did some Montaigne last year, and I really enjoyed that. Um, and oh yeah, and the Bible, with in Leah's class with my apprenticeship, we're doing Bible, which I'm not religious myself, but I'm a bit of a Bible nerd, so that's been super fun to be able to talk about with a class.
So that brings me to a question that I did want to ask about. I have a lot of students who mention to me that the diversity of the program is really important to them. We have students from all across the United States, families from a more progressive secular background, many families from a religious, more conservative background, and then lots of families outside the United States. Is that something that's been really appealing to you, especially, in terms of just for example, talking about the Bible in class?
Yeah, it's been really great. I know I've had like a bunch of friends from my class from different countries, and it's been interesting to learn about what it's like for them. And I think it's just it makes you more cultured and it makes you more aware of kind of what's going on. So that's been super valuable. People who know all sorts of different languages and things like that. Um, and yeah, everyone having different religious backgrounds is something I love because I'm such I don't know, that's one of my favorite things to talk about. And I think no one at TSE is ever gonna shut you down when you want to talk about something, no matter how different our beliefs are. So having these super different beliefs is so interesting because like even outside of class, I've been in discussions with people who I think very differently from, but it's they're like the most respectful and entertaining discussions that I've had about sometimes like controversial topics. So yeah, definitely something super valuable that I love about the school.
Does it ever get contentious? And if so, what has your experience been as far as how it is eventually resolved?
Um, I don't think. Well, okay. Maybe there. I think there have been few times in class where maybe it feels like people are talking over each other and not really listening to each other. And there's yeah, it's a bit contentious, like you said. But the whole deal is that when that happens, people notice, and a class like that isn't fun. Nobody's enjoying that class. It's stressful for everyone. So I think we're able to all really like at the end of class sit down and be like, okay, what went wrong? How can we change this? We can have a document with rules that we want to focus on for ourselves and our own class. Um, I think yeah, there hasn't been a problem that we haven't really been able to resolve like adults.
How have since you're engaged in Socratic dialogue all day pretty much, you're a full-time student, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So since you're engaged in Socratic dialogue for at least 4 hours of the day, maybe more, depending on electives and clubs and stuff, how has that Socratic practice impacted communication in your everyday life outside of class?
It's been really great. Um, I I think it really helped me have, more difficult discussions and be able to manage them. And it really, really has helped me like express myself um more eloquently and express my thoughts exactly as I mean them. I've always had a lot of thoughts and I've always liked to express them, but I think because you're really forced to have everyone understand. If you say something and people don't understand, they're gonna quiz you on it. And I like to share the things I'm interested in as well. So it's been really helpful to have like interesting dialogues with people outside of my class. I love bringing things that we're talking about in class to my family and talking about it with them. Um, and I don't know, I think it's really helped me just talk about my interests, like whether it's some cartoon that I am into that I want to talk about, um, or if it's some, I don't know, some political ideology that I'm really interested in that I want to convince somebody of or something, then I'm able to do it. It's fun. I really, really like discussing things. I really like the Socratic method. Um, so yeah.
Has Socratic practice impacted your fundamental beliefs in any way, whether it be politics, religion, anything, of a significance like that?
Um, I can't say for certain because I think before I came to TSE, I didn't really care about that sort of thing. Um, and I mean, I think that's partially because I was younger and partially because, TSE is what kind of was like, actually, it's okay to talk about this stuff. You can talk about it in a fun way. Because before, whenever I had things like politics show up in my life, it was very unwanted and it was stressful, and I didn't want to hear it. But now I actually really am interested in politics and theory. And I think, yeah, it's helped me just talk about it in a more meaningful way. And I think the main thing that I guess TSC could have changed my idea of is how I think education should work and how free I think it should be. Um, because I didn't really know before, and I went to these private schools. They were pretty not great. And I just was like, okay, I guess that's how it works. I guess everyone just doesn't like school. Um, and then I did the homeschooling thing and I did the unschooling thing, but I wasn't learning as much as I could have if it was more structured because I really like structure. So yeah, it's a good balance for me.
Are you college bound, or do you have an idea about that yet?
Right now I am not. I don't think I'll immediately be going to college after I graduate. I'd like to go to community college. There's a good one pretty close to me, so I'm thinking about that. But right now it seems like I'll be able to just start working. And as long as it's something that I like, then that's good with me.
Have there been any like unique challenges or growth opportunities that you didn't necessarily foresee leading classes? And how has that kind of helped you grow in communication and leadership, whatever it might be?
Yeah, I mean, there've been a few like moments where that's why it's been helpful to be with another guide. Because there've been a few moments where someone says something and like, oh wow, I really don't know how to answer that. Whether it's like a question related to the text or it's just a difficult moment to navigate as a guide. Um, so hearing the response to that has been helpful, and then giving feedback is something that I've started doing more directly this quarter, and that's been challenging. I started out just kind of practicing giving feedback on things, not really showing the students themselves, but now because you have to really be mindful of what you say and you have to really think about what the students write. So yeah, I think I've learned a lot with helping to lead the classes, mostly in communication. Um, yeah.
So, as a student who is neurodivergent at the Socratic experience, how have we supported you in a way that previous school experiences didn't?
Um, I think the again with the mentorship program has been super helpful because I can talk to my mentor with anything that I'm struggling with, um, or anything I want to work on, and she's really there for me. And I can explain myself, and she understands. So just having somebody who you can talk to weekly, who's really in your corner, super valuable. And then I think everyone is super nice, and I've met a lot of people who are like not only just kind and relatable, but like who are like me, and we're able to have similar conversations. And I think in that respect, TSC has helped me like refine the things that I used to struggle with. So I think I've gotten a lot better at interacting with people, and being in kind of professional social settings. Uh, and that you used to be a struggle, and I'm not going to say it's not a struggle, but I definitely have gotten a lot better at it, especially like I said earlier, in leading the classes. And yeah, just the peers as well. Super great people. So it's been all around better and more supportive than other schools. I think if there's something in classes that you're struggling with particularly, or even outside of classes that you can't help, you have to deal with now, the guides are going to be understanding, and they're going to help you however you need.
Do you think the ideal student for the Socratic experience would be, or perhaps what type of student is TSE uniquely suited to serve?
I think people who want to take charge of their learning more. I think people who care about their learning and their education, and what they're gonna do in life. I think like I cannot say, oh, a student who likes reading is better suited, a student who likes programming is better suited, because literally all those kinds of people can fit and can find something for them. I know, my friends in this school have such varied interests. And that's another great thing. But yeah, I think you can really tell when somebody is passionate and somebody is ready to learn and wants to learn from the guides and this other students, and that's when someone makes progress. You just have to be ready and ambitious and excited.
Well, Maya, thank you so much for your time today. It was a real pleasure connecting with you.
Oh, thank you.